Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you'll present your arguments for who the killer is, and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave the island. Such a cruel rule. Why is she tied up? Before we begin, I'd like to confirm one thing. Is there really a killer among us? Most definitely! There's no doubt that the blackened is lurking among you. Such a sad state of affairs, isn't it? By the way, this class trial is going to be 100% fair, so there's no need to worry. I'm the type who hates favoritism and prejudice. Well, not as much as I hate monomy, of course. You hate me that much? Now then, let's begin. You're telling us to begin, but what are we supposed to do? No complaining. Let's just settle this with our fists. Hell yeah, Fight Club, baby. Were you even listening to the rules? Didn't that Byakuya bastard get killed in the dining hall, huh? Then everyone here is a fucking suspect. Yeah. What you're trying to say is that you're not the killer, right? No shit. You guys went off on your own and started killing each other. That has nothing to do with me. Huh? What does that mean? Anyway, why don't we just try talking about the most pressing issue on our minds? Huh? The most pressing issue on our minds? Where we found the body. Isn't that very strange to find a body underneath a table? Then let's start with that mystery. The reason why Byakuya's body was discovered under the dining hall table. We can start with that. But ultimately we need to find out who murdered him. If we can do that, no, thinking about if is a waste of time. We have to do this, no matter what. So class trials finally started. From this point on, I'm providing simple tutorials. I don't need them because I'm a god at this game. Just kidding. I'm fucking. Make your arguments. Why was Byakuya's body in a place like that? His body was underneath the table, at the very back of the dining hall. After the killer murdered Byakuya, they probably moved the body there. Tsunoichigando! No, I don't think the killer moved the body. Huh? Why? Try to remember what the body looked like when we found it under the table. Though there was a lot of blood everywhere, there was no sign the killer actually dragged the body through it. So that's why you think it's possible that the killer moved the body. I see. I get your point. And here I thought I had a genius idea. Too bad you're so stupid and boring and unpopular. Your life is meaningless. I respond better to praise, you know. But if the killer didn't move the body, why is it under the table? Byakuya was probably killed under the table. What? You think he was killed under the table? So Byakuya snuck under the table for reasons unknown, and that's when he was killed. Then shortly thereafter, we found his body under the table. That does make sense, but why did he go under the table? Obviously he was hiding so he could surprise us. That dude is always such a big jokester. The hell he was? You seriously couldn't tell what kind of person he was? Maybe he panicked during the blackout and dove under the table. It's a blackout, not an earthquake. Just because the power went out doesn't mean you'd have to dive under the table. The reason why is probably connected to why Byakuya was doing what he was doing at the party, don't you think? The reason Byakuya dove under the table, if it's connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, then probably trying to confiscate the knife. It's probably has something to do with the knife he found under the table. Knife? Oh, you mean the thing that obviously screams, "I'm the murder weapon"? Byakuya probably noticed the knife was hidden there, so in order to get it, he moved under the table. He was particularly sensitive to the presence of dangerous items, so I cannot deny the possibility. But how did he notice there was a knife under the table? If he knew beforehand, he probably would have done something about it before the blackout, right? Then instead of knowing about it beforehand, maybe he saw it right at the moment. Like, for example, he might have seen someone trying to take the knife out from under the table. No, that is not possible. What? You seem rather confident about that. Of course, I have proof to back me up. This is most like a real trial. During a previous statement, there was only one weak spot. From there, yeah, various... Good luck. I'm sure Byakuya ducked under the table during the blackout. That sounds correct. If that's the case, during the blackout, Mr. Ham Hands must have seen the killer take the knife. But it was super pitch black. It was so dark I couldn't see my food. Byakuya couldn't see in the dark. He had night vision goggles. No, Byakuya was probably the only one who was able to see in the dark. Why do you say that? If he was using the night vision goggles we found under the table, he could have seen what was happening. So, are you saying Byakuya was the one who used those night vision goggles? Yeah, that seems to be the case. Whoa! Hold on! Are you countering me? And ladies and gentlemen, it is the first introduction of the rebuttal showdown. No, that's obviously wrong. It should be the other way around. Other way around? Seriously, the killer used those night vision goggles, not Byakuya. And now it's going to explain. So, I don't care, because I already know how to play the game. Actually, I should take this time now to explain it. Basically, we're going to go head-to-head. I'm going to be slashing statements, like the white noise statements, sort of, to back up the argument. And then at some point, she's going to have some sort of contradiction that I have to use a truth sword, or whatever the hell they call it, to slash her statement. It works kind of similar, except it's just more one-on-one now. Okay. By the way, I'm not reading these because I actually have to slash the statements, so I really have no time to read them. So if you really care, you can try your best to pause them. No, Byakuya was definitely the one who brought those night vision goggles. Definitely? But why? Inside the delirium case Byakuya had with him during the party, we found a smaller case for storing the night vision goggles. Which means we can assume that the night vision goggles were kept inside that delirium case as well. Wahoo! I said assume. Ibuki never uses such clever language. Plus, Byakuya was the only one who could have taken the night vision goggles out of the case, since he was carrying it around before the blackout in the first place. I see. When you put it like that, it makes sense. Then, was the knife inside the case too? If there was a night vision goggles inside, it wouldn't be weird to have a knife in there too. It would be weird. I am weird, aren't I? At times like this, I'd rather be fantasizing about tonight's main dish. Ew, you totally mean that in a perverted way. The knife was brought in the delirium case along with the night vision goggles too. No, that's not possible. The knife was hidden in the dining hall before the party even started. I should be able to prove it, because of the duct tape. Suka! There was duct tape left under the table where the body was found. Huh? Duct tape? They probably hid the knife by duct taping it to the underside of the table. So that's why we found duct tape there? Though Byakuya was thorough, even he couldn't have noticed the weapon tape on the other side of a table. This may be off topic, but why was Byakuya acting so paranoid? Not only did he bring self-defense kit, but he had night vision goggles inside the case too. That's true, he went above and beyond being a little cautious. Now that you mention it, that applies to the dangerous items he confiscated as well. It's one thing to be a little cautious, but performing a body check is a bit much. He probably knew someone was planning to commit a murder. Are you saying he predicted the murder? Could it be he was also in the possession of the all-seeing eye? You think so too, right, Hajime? That's right, Byakuya probably knew it was a possibility a murder would occur because of the murder threat. I also like the actual animation now, where he actually moves a little. Everyone, can you please take a look at this? Be careful. The first kill will happen tonight. Someone will definitely kill someone. Hey, what the hell is this? Hijama and I found it in Byakuya's cottage. It looks like a threatening letter someone sent to him. So, who's the someone? Nobody besides Monokuma would write such a dumb, threatening letter like that. Wasn't me! Are you sure? The only lies I tell are friendly lies. Yeah, like writing a fake suicide note, you bastard. You rat bastard. Those are still lies! It doesn't matter who wrote it yet, so Byakuya became paranoid because of this threatening letter. He probably decided to throw a party because of the letter. What do you mean? By gathering everyone in one place, he tried to create a situation where everyone could keep tabs on each other. In doing so, he tried to put the writer of the letter in a situation where they couldn't act. But the letter might have just been a little prank. As long as he was determined not to let us die, he couldn't take that risk. His strong sense of responsibility made him believe that the letter was legitimate. Shh! He should have told us he received a threatening letter! If he had, we would have panicked. Byakuya probably knew that too. So he tried to do something about it without telling anyone? I see. His strong sense of responsibility as our leader was his undoing. Screw that noise! Who the hell wrote that letter? Well, obviously, the killer. The killer. Is it really one of us? Who is it? Among us, who's the one? Who killed Byakuya? Oh my god, I just like almost threw up a little bit. Enough already. Show yourself, you coward. If they were willing to come forward, they never would have committed the murder in the first place. But I still can't believe it. Someone in this room killed Byakuya. There's no way I can believe that yet. Pardon me. Can I say something, please? What is it, Miss Sonia? I regret that I must return to the topic, but I just realized something concerning the night vision goggles. If Byakuya was indeed wearing those goggles, how did the killer manage to navigate in the dark? You're right. They wouldn't have been able to see anything without the night vision goggles. But if the murderer had goggles when they took the knife, then how did Byakuya see them? Even if the knife bore some sort of mark, it would have been difficult to see in that darkness. The glowing paint. No, the killer definitely used a mark. And because of this mark, the killer was able to get the knife from under the table into his hands. Suka! What if the glowing paint was the mark? With that, you'd be able to get the knife even in the dark. In actuality, the knife we found under the table and the duct tape stuck to the underside of the table were both marked with glowing paint, right? Does that mean the killer painted them in advance? But painting them with glowing paint, it's as if they knew the blackout was going to happen. Exactly! Then they had already known. That's why they used the glowing paint as the mark. Which means whoever set up the blackout is the killer! That seals it. The killer is whoever was in the office with the circuit breaker. Which means it was you, Peko Pekoyama! Peko killed poor Byakuya? Was this island not big enough for the two glasses wearers? I'm not the killer. Oh, I guess she's not. You're just gonna believe that? Hang on. How can you believe her so easily? But with Peko's height, I don't think she'd be able to reach the circuit breaker to the office. I don't care about the technicality that Peko's the one who tripped the breaker and caused the blackout. But then how would she kill someone, is the point. Even if she tripped the breaker, she couldn't make her way to the office. Or could make her way to the dining hall. By tripping the breaker directly from the office, Peko was the one who caused the blackout. Is that really what happened? Another blue-colored weak spots will start appearing. We call these weak spots argue spots. Blue-colored weak spots are called agree. Okay, so now this game introduces consent spots. Basically, you can now agree with people's statements instead of counter them. In the last game, everything was you used truth bullets to contradict someone's statement. This time, you can use truth bullets to agree with people. So, like, they might say something like, I think they used a knife, and then you have, like, kitchen knife as your bullet. You shoot it, and then you agree with them. Like, I think that's what happened. Sorry. Since Peko was in the office, she could have caused the blackout at any time. That's impossible. Huh? Why is it impossible? Because I was not in the office. I wasn't there before the blackout. Consent! Soria Sansera! I think that's how you say it. I think she was taking a shit, boys. No, I think Peko is telling the truth. Don't tell me you're crushing on Peko. I mean, I'm not gonna disagree, fam. It's nothing like that. Oh, damn it. Nekumaru's account is actually Peko's alibi. I've been trying to use it many times, but the door just won't open at all. It's true. Someone was occupying the bathroom for a long time shortly after the party started. And it was finally freed up after Byakuya's body was discovered. Huh, then the person who was in the bathroom that whole time was actually... Everyone else besides Peko was in the dining hall after the party started, right? I see, so there's no way anybody else could have locked themselves in the bathroom except Peko. I guess that would be true. You locked yourself in the commode? You should have said something earlier. There's no way she'd actually say that. Gosh, you're so insensitive. If she locked herself in the bathroom for that long, there's no doubt it's shit. Oh, there's no way she'd admit it. There's no way she'd admit that she was taking a shit. Hey, weren't you guys taught basic manners, or you raised in a locker room? I'm sorry. It's fine. How about we stop talking about this and move on to something else? Don't worry, the smell wasn't that strong. I used the bathroom right after you, so you can trust me. I said it's fine. But still, you were in the bathroom for a really long time. Did you get food poisoning or something? As soon as I stepped into the office, I felt this sudden rush of pain in my stomach. Because of that, I was unable to leave the bathroom, including when the blackout occurred. Hey, how did you feel about doing your business in the dark? Did you get excited? Seriously, stop it. But still, your stomach pain, was it really just a coincidence? Hey, what's the deal? Don't butt into other people's business, especially if you don't do any investigating. I'm only butting in because you fucking idiots are out of your element. Stop this childish nonsense. Just what do you mean by coincidence? What I mean is it a possibility someone slipped her some laxatives? Laxatives? If so, the killer could have tripped the breaker as soon as the girl left the office, don't you think? I see, that might have happened. No, because Akane ate the food too. There was 3 of them. Nekumaru and Peko obviously had some sort of like reaction to the food, but Akane ate the food too, but she didn't have a reaction. And she scarred. Same with Byakuya before he died. He even ate the food too, and it's not like his pants were full of shit after he died. The question is whether Peko's stomach ache was a coincidence or if someone intentionally caused it. Depending on the answer, the outcome of this trial could change drastically. Did you eat anything weird? I don't remember eating anything weird. Now that you mention it, you brought food to the office, right? Just a little bit from the dining hall. There might have been some laxative in it, don't you think? Akane ate it too, and she didn't get a food poisoning. No, it's impossible that laxatives were slipped into the food in the dining hall, because Peko wasn't the only one who ate that food. Akane ate some of it too. If the food had laxatives in it, I'm pretty sure Akane would have had some stomach issues as well. I'm totally fine. Like I said, the dishes are innocent. Don't go making weird accusations. I apologize for causing such a scene. Fuyuhiko should apologize, not you. He's the one who made the laxative accusation. What the fuck you say, bitch? Cease your bickering! Let's dismiss Peko's stomach aches as a coincidence and go back to discussing the blackout. Yeah, we already know that, you trashy skank. You don't have to tell us. Trashy skank? As long as the murder happened during the blackout, then the blackout itself is what's actually important. So we need to make it clear how the blackout occurred. I think this is where the irons come into play, boys. Who tripped the breaker and how did they do it? If you can't answer that, I'm bop you in the head. Did they throw a stone and hit it? Maybe they used a remote control. They probably messed with the breaker. Does it have to be the breaker? Maybe there was they tampered with the power transmitters, or maybe they caused a power surge. Soria Sansera! Shit, it was a consent one. It's just as Mahiru said, the blackout was caused by a power surge. Of course, that's not a coincidence. Someone caused it intentionally. Which is why those 3 irons were arranged to cause the blackout. When we found them right after the blackout, the irons were still on, right? Oh, so by leaving the irons in the storage room, they deliberately caused the power surge. Not necessarily. I mean, it added to it. Yeah, it seems that's how the killer caused the blackout. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. He looks like he's gonna shit himself. Hold on a second, let me speak too. What the heck? You say that the irons in the storage room were used to trigger the blackout. That's inexcusable. Are you sure about that? No, just because people were in the dining hall doesn't mean they're not a suspect. They used the ACs. The irons are just one of the reasons the blackout occurred, but it wasn't the direct trigger. The direct trigger was the air conditioners in the dining hall and the office when in the dining hall and the office clicked on. Air conditioners! The timers of both the air conditioners were set for 11:30. As soon as they clicked on, the power surge occurred. 11:30 p.m. Mr. Hand's hand died around that time too. I see. When the timers activated the air conditioners, the breakers were tripped and they caused a blackout. I see. I understand. Undoubtedly. Wait, is it indubitably? They probably checked the old building's energy usage in advance and used the irons to nearly max it out. So once they set the air conditioners timers, they just had to wait until they started up on their own. Even so, if Pekka was in the office, it would have been possible to cause a blackout, indubitably. Indubitably? Sonia, not you too. Regarding the energy usage, they probably asked Monokuma about it. Dun dun dun! Is she right? Such a hateful bear. You deserve to die 1,000 deaths. 1,000, you say? If I died that many times, I might really stay dead, you know. Shut up. You guys just stay quiet. I couldn't have prevented the blackout even if I was in the office, but even so, I feel regret. If I was in the office, I could have reset the breaker in time, and maybe the murder wouldn't have occurred. No, the breaker in the office was built into a high area on the wall. That's impossible to reach. Resetting the breaker in the darkness would have been impossible no matter what. She could have used her sword maybe to reach up there. Sounds like you don't need to blame yourself. Even so, the killer's so sly. I'm starting to worry we may never actually find them. It's alright, you don't have to worry, because they're just a petty killer, right? They can't defeat symbols of hope like you guys. Huh? There's no way everybody will lose now. A little incident like just is just a stepping stone for all of you. In the end, hope always wins. That's what I believe. Nagito, what happened to you? Huh? What do you mean? Well, you've been saying this whole time that there's no way the killer could be among us. Oh, is that so? Well, let's just put that minor detail aside from now and talk about the incident. For now, we found out how the blackout occurred, but the question is, who caused it, right? I'm gonna say this right now. Again, there was one person on cleaning duty this whole time who had the opportunity to sneak in a knife, put it on the table, and set this whole ordeal. And I think it's you, fucker. I think Nagito did the whole blackout shit, and I think he was attempting murder. But it's not right to assume that he actually killed Byakuya yet. But I'm pretty sure he set the blackout, for sure. He definitely set the blackout. Anybody could have hit a set of timers for the air conditioners. Setting up irons in the storage room could have been done before Byakuya stepped foot in the old building. What a shame. Any one of us is capable of that. What are you implying? He's just saying, after all this time, we still haven't made any progress. Huh? Even though we have been arguing for so long? Unfortunately, it's the truth. Despite the fact that we've discussed it in this length, there's not even one clue that leads to the killer. But that might be because there's no way any of us could be the killer. You're changing the story again. Anyway, I have an idea about what we should all do at this point. Has anyone thought about our situation like this? Instead of surviving by doubting others, isn't it better to get killed for believing in others? Does that mean, are you saying we should all just give up and die? Nagito, there's definitely something wrong with you. You guys only think there's something wrong with me because there's something wrong with you. Suspecting each other like this, there's no way that's healthy behavior. Let's stop this already. We don't have to find out who the killer is. I can't stand this anymore. I don't want to do any of this to my friends. I don't want to do any of this either. Me too, please. Take me home already. Wow, I want to go home and eat candy. Stop it. If everyone acts like this, I'm gonna... Everyone, calm down. We're all friends, aren't we? There's no way a friend would murder another. Why didn't Byakuya die? Who cares? Let's just give up already. There are no clues that lead to the killer anyway. Not a single one. That's wrong. I think. Guys, did you say something? Because we've already found a clue that might point to who the killer is. A clue, you say? You know who the killer is? The killer? I don't know, but we do have a clue about the suspicious person, I think. I see. Then care to tell me what's this clue you're talking about? First of all, let's try thinking about how the killer was able to obtain the knife during the blackout. Did we already cover that? They used glowing paint as a mark. No, not that. I mean, before that. Before? Is she asking how the killer got close to the table? Even if they had to obtain the knife by relying on the glow from the paint, in order to do that, they needed to get close to the table while it was still dark. Let's try examining this situation. Mahiru's diagram might be useful there. The diagram of where everyone was standing before the blackout, right? Here it is. And guess who's closest to the table, boys? Dots. Just as I thought, this diagram is the clue. Who the killer is, and how they were able to move in the table during the dark. That's clearly shown in this diagram. First, we need to discuss how the killer was able to move to that table in the dark. The killer probably used something to help them move to the dark, in the dark. It was the lamp, brother. I seek the forbidden lamp, brother. The killer must use the desk lamp to move to the table in the dark. The desk lamp? I hope you don't mean they turn on the light or something. There was a blackout. There's no way the killer could have used a desk lamp. No, they used something else. Of course there's no way that they used the desk lamp with the light. The killer actually used the power cord. They snuck through because they were up against the wall. They followed the cord to the table. And there's only one person that was close enough to it during the blackout. They didn't turn the desk lamp on. They used the power cord. Power cord? They could have felt their way to the table using the power cord, right? By doing that, the killer was able to move to the table, then use the glowing paint to find the knife. And there's only one person there that could have done that. Who? The only person here who could have possibly done it. The one person who's been fucking high on his own supply. It was Nagito! Nagito, it was you, wasn't it? Me? Judging from everyone's positions before the blackout, the only person near the power cord was you. Which means the only person who could have felt their way to the table using the power cord was Nagito. That's just a coincidence. But still, you had a chance, right? A chance to hide the knife under the table. Because you were on cleaning duty. Nagito's chance to hide it was when he was cleaning. Nagito, weren't you on cleaning duty? Weren't you cleaning the dining hall all morning? If so, you would have had a chance to hide the knife. In fact, in the power cord and the time you spent cleaning, you're the only one who could have done it. Seriously, that's all just a coincidence. If it was just a coincidence, that'd be fine. But when it's one right after another, I wonder, is something like that even possible? Could it be? Did you give yourself cleaning duty on purpose so you could hide the knife under the table? He's the ultimate lucky student, so why would he be forced to do cleaning duty? When we did that drawing, he wanted to get picked. Now that you mention it, Nagito did prepare the drawing to pick and clean the dining hall. To be honest, I've already prepared a drawing because I assumed something like this would happen. To go through the trouble of preparing this, just what did you think would happen? Whoever draws the chopstick with the red mark is the one who'll be in charge of cleaning duty, okay? Does that sound fair? You rigged the drawing, didn't you? That's how you got picked to clean the dining hall, isn't it? No, he's just old. He was lucky. He wanted to get picked. I don't know if you're the killer or not, but regardless, it proves that you're suspicious, right? If that's the case, that strange speech you made earlier, that was part of your plan too. You got us to lower our guard and tried to hide the fact that you did it, didn't you, you motherfucker? Well, just admit it already. Nagito, tell me you object to this. Frankly, I don't want to believe it either. We investigated together. You were so kind. I can't believe you're the one who killed Byakuya. Nagito, say something! Oh my god, he's gonna lose his marbles. Just like fucking Leon in the first one. The Ultimates are working together to combat the despair at their friend's death. Ah, how wonderful, how beautiful it is! Huh? Those eyes! At that moment, Nagito's eyes. The darkness in his eyes shone brightly, as if layers upon layers of darkness were folding in on each other. As if hope and despair had been crudely mixed together. Let's cut to the chase. You're correct. It was my doing all along. I'm the one who hid the knife under the table before the party started. I'm the one who used the power cord to find my way to the table in the dark. And of course, I'm the one who caused the blackout. After all, there's no way I'd knowingly whip out a knife in front of everyone, right? Is it just me, or does he seem a little nuts right now? But I never expected Byakuya to have night vision goggles. Because of that, we had ourselves a little scuffle under the table. And, well, you saw how it played out. But with a twist ending like that, I think we can all agree this ended up being a very interesting mystery. Byakuya performed admirably. Just stop it already. Seriously, what the hell happened to you? Don't tell me, is this your true nature? Were you lying to us the entire time? Me? Lied? That's outrageous. There's no way someone like me could ever lie to you guys. I understand better than anyone else that I'm ultimately worthless. I'm too arrogant to have dreams to cling to hope. I'm too disdainful to actually try at anything. I've made peace with the fact that I'm lowly, stupid, insignificant human who can't do anything right. Holy crap, he's totally the type of guy who spent his childhood killing neighborhood pets. He seems to be also the sort of person whose eyes light up just like watching Friday the 13th, just like me. That's quite a hobby you have there, but like, that's not really the time to bring it up. This guy, is he the real Nagito? Hey, Nagito, if you were behind all this, then did you also send that threatening letter? Probably that's why he knew about it and brought me over there. Yep, I sure did. There's nobody else on the island whose handwriting is that painful to look at, right? But why would you send a threatening letter in the first place? I think somewhere deep in my heart, I was probably hoping to find someone who would stop my evil deeds. Well, I bet if that really was my reason, at least some of you would feel sorry for me. Are you making fun of us? By threatening Byakuya, Nagito was likely able to manipulate his actions. Then how about that old-looking building near the hotel? Well, if it's just cleaning duty, leave it to me. I'm actually pretty good at it. In doing so, Nagito was able to manipulate everyone at the scene where the murder would occur. Am I wrong? That reminds me, Nagito was the one who suggested I guard the office. Well, not only is the storage room packed with lots of stuff, it's hard to see in there and full of cobwebs. And I was so busy cleaning the dining hall that I didn't even have time to clean the storage room. If you stayed in there for too long, I think it would be bad for your health. In that case, why don't you guard the case in the office? Oh, I get it. If Pekka was guarding the storage room, Nagito wouldn't have been able to use the irons. The threatening letter, along with your suggestions, it was all a trap to manipulate us. Yep, that's true. That's true too. But you're wrong about one thing. Huh? What? I didn't need to rig the drawing for cleaning duty, you know? If that's true, then how did you conveniently get picked for cleaning duty? He's the ultimate lucky student. The real ultimate lucky student. I see. Well, there's no way I expect any of you to remember it. A worthless talent for a worthless human. Nagito's talent. I believe the talent is the ultimate lucky student. You're the ultimate lucky student. Then, did you? That's right, I just trusted my luck. I trusted I'd be picked for cleaning duty. You just relied on luck? It's not just luck, it's my true talent. It's my true talent sucks, but I'm still the ultimate lucky student, you know? Huh? I'm left with the red mark? For someone called the ultimate lucky student, you don't seem very lucky right now. At the time, Hajime said I wasn't lucky, but it was actually the opposite. I was lucky! That's why I got picked for cleaning duty, just like I wanted! That's enough. I don't care about that anymore. More importantly, why did you kill Byakuya? Answer me! Byakuya was a very capable leader. For someone like him to get killed, oh, the despair it brings. It's only fitting that the symbols of hope should use his death as a stepping stone to shine even brighter. That was my only motivation! You're not making any sense! It's fine, let's start the damn vote already. I'm ready to fucking kill this psycho. Please, Monokuma! Please wait! Huh? The fuck? How should I put this? Is Nagito really the killer? I agree with that. Her autopsy. Remember her autopsy. Byakuya was not stabbed with a knife. He was stabbed with something as thin as 5 millimeters. Huh? What are you saying? He's already confessed, hasn't he? No, he confessed to setting up the crime, but he didn't confess to killing it. I already know that, but there's just something a little strange. If it's only a little, then keep your mouth shut. Your ugly face is stressing me out. It makes me want to puke. I'm sorry. For now, might I suggest we listen to what she has to say? But we know who the killer is. Simply listening is acceptable. However, I won't allow it to end with mere play. Now then, let us lift the curtain for a bloody spectacle. From this point on, lines of white... Okay, yeah, white noise are now, alright. Don't forget about her autopsy results, boys. I think it's strange that the killers is so obviously Nagito. He has already confessed. You know, that bastard Nagito is the one who did it. He's the one who hid that knife. He's the one who hit the knife. I think it said he killed him with the knife he hid. That knife might not be the murder weapon. That's what you wanted to say, right, Makan? The hell you talking about? It's obvious the knife was the murder weapon. But based on the entry wounds on Byakuya's body, the actual weapon should be roughly 5 millimeters in diameter. 5 millimeters in diameter? That's like way skinnier than the knife. Hey, that better be true. If you screwed up, I'll sell your fucking ass to the whorehouse. Okay, whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa! Not the whorehouse! Hey, why are you threatening her? Is this what you're trying to say, Makan? As long as we can't prove that the knife is a murder weapon, we can't assume that I'm the killer. What are you saying? No one else can be the killer. It has to be you. Hey, don't blame me. Makan's the one who said it. I'm sorry. Dots. Hey, Nagito, are you still hiding something? Hiding? Like, during the blackout, did something happen between you and Byakuya that we don't know about? Who knows? After this, what else do you intend to hide? Dots. Geez, the moment your back's against the wall, you get, like, all silent. You piss me off. What happened during the blackout? If you cross your eyes like this, it gives you double vision. Don't get distracted. Our lives are at stake here, you know. Huh? Whose lives are at stake? Seriously, how long is it gonna take you to understand the damn rules? Nobody else can see in the dark, no matter how hard you think about it. The truth is beyond your sight. Don't you think it's a pretty clever metaphor, despite the fact that it came from me? No, that's not it. Not it? What's not it? The truth is beyond our sight. No, that can't be it. There should be some way to find out what happened in the dark. And that's where Ibuki comes into play. Soka! Even if we couldn't see what happened in the dark, I'm pretty sure someone could have heard it. Isn't that right, Ibuki? For realsy? Don't act so surprised. You were the one who told me, remember? How everyone else was shouting during the blackout. Everyone calm down. We gotta stay calm in a situation like this. What? Don't step on my feet. What the hell? What's going on here? This is... Ow! Turn the damn lights on. I can't eat like this, you know? You guys, where are you? Wasn't the blackout just in the kitchen? Perhaps the breaker overloaded. Hold on a sec. I'll go along the wall and do something about it. Such perceptive hearing. Impressive. I'd expect no less from the ultimate musician. It's a good thing your ears are awesome because your face, style, figure, and personality all totally suck. Ta! You cut deep with your knife of truth. However, after hearing what Byakuya and Nagito said in the dark. What the hell? What's going on here? This is... Ow! It almost sounds like Byakuya fought back against Nagito or something. Well, that's actually what happened. Huh? As a sign of respect for Ibuki's talent, I have a small confession to make. I was actually shoved out from under the table by Byakuya. He shoved you out? Just as the blackout occurred, I hurried to duck under the table and grab the knife. But Byakuya was wearing his night vision goggles, caught me and shoved me right from under the table. That's right, I'm so incompetent that I couldn't even grab the knife. So Byakuya stopped him when he was trying to get the knife, and he got shoved out from under the table before he could even grab it? Well, it sounds plausible. I mean, just from listening to what they both said at the time. What the hell? What's going on here? This is... Ow! I couldn't interpret it like that. I couldn't interpret it like that. No, actually, now that I think about it, it sounds like exactly what happened. After getting shoved from under the table, I was just as confused as you guys. I lost sight of the glowing paint, and I didn't even know where the power cord was. Before I realized it, the lights had come back on, and Byakuya's body was lying under the table. Hold on! Are you saying you're not the killer? From the very beginning, the idea to throw a party, hiding the knife, setting up the blackout, it was all according to plan. But unfortunately, my plan failed, and all thanks to Byakuya's night vision goggles. What happened after that, even I don't know. You failed? Then you're not the one who killed Byakuya? Then we're right back to square one? How can that be? We spent all this time talking back and forth. Meaningless. What other word is brimming with so much despair? But you can't give up. You need to have hope. Do your best and move forward. Raising the challenge again and again is why you guys are the symbols of hope. Dots. Is Nagito really not the killer? Is this guy really the Nagito I knew before? No, there's no way I can say that. I just thought I knew him. But this whole time, I didn't know anything about this guy. I didn't know his true character. That's as simple as that. But now's not the time for me to dwell on that. We need to find Byakuya's killer by any means possible. Because if we don't, we will die here. Suspended. Now then, the Clash Trial has reached its climax, but, okay, here's a question for you. What is it? To those of you who figured out who it is, how about you try and guess the killer challenge? Whoever fails to guess the right killer will have their save data melt away like butter. But if you guess right, I'll reward you with $10 billion. $10 billion? Of course, for those of you who don't know who the killer is, you can just continue on. Now then, what are you gonna do? Continue on or guess the kill. I'm actually gonna play the guess the killer challenge because, well, not only because I've played this before, but actually going through and puzzling it together, you can actually, there's one person you can actually maybe one or two people you can actually deduce who did it. If what the true thing that Nagito's not the killer is, if that holds true, then there's one other person that's very suspicious. His actions were very suspicious. I wonder if you can pick up on that before the second part hits. There's no way you'd be able to guess who the killer is. Yeah, of course. There's no $10 billion either. Villain, you truly are a villain. Damn it, I wanted to get $10 billion. No. Before you get your panties all up in a bunch, let's do some explaining, alright? I got some explaining to do, I understand. You're probably like, oh shit, get on with it, Ross. Fucking do the trial and everything. No. I'm stopping it here, but wait, there's more. I'm stopping it here, but I'll be posting the rest of the trial later today, okay? The reason why is because I genuinely don't like having episodes super long because people are busy. And I just like to maintain the whole hour episode thing. Plus, because these games sort of genuinely split the trials off into 2 parts, especially whether you saw that they actually suspend the trial and give you a break and then resume it. So I figured I might as well just post the first half, like at the usual time I usually post, and then the actual conclusion of the trial, like, I don't know, later in the day, somewhat, maybe like a couple hours outside of when I post the first one. I'm still posting both, so that way you'll see the entire trial conclusion in one day. I'm not gonna be a dickhead and just be like, that's it, sorry, that's all you're getting, gotta wait 3 days now or whatever. No, I'm not a dick, all right? This sounds complicated, I know, I understand, you're probably confused, but it's the way I want to do it, all right? Because I know a lot of people, they don't want to stick around and watch something for 2 hours or whatever, and like, I get that, and that's kind of like how I am. If I wanted to do that, I'd watch, you know, someone stream or something, which I'm not. This is not how it is. These are more like episodes, so obviously I want to stay within an hour. So I'm splitting all the trials up into 2-parters because they're considerably longer than the first game, and that kind of holds true for the rest of the series. So I hope this doesn't, like, you know, cause any big ordeals or confusions. Like I said, it's still coming out in 1 day, so you don't gotta get your panties all up in a bunch or whatnot. But anyway, stopping that here, I hope you all enjoyed the first half, and, you know, look forward to the second half. You can recuperate, figure it out. Maybe if you haven't figured out who the killer is, you got some time now. You got about a couple hours or so. I guess it also makes the most sense because the first half of the trial is primarily used to basically deduce who isn't the killer, and then the second half of the trial is gonna be a very climactic battle of us actually figuring out who did the killing and whatnot, if that makes sense. So in all seriousness, this is probably best, because if you're not someone who wants to see, like, the entire story unveil, you could just skip to part 2 and just be like, I want to know who killed him. I want to know, like, that. You could just watch part 2 when it comes out later. That's fine. I totally understand. I won't, like, force you to do anything. But if you want to actually see the entire trial play out, well, here you go. You can watch this part, you know, let it process, figure out, you know, do some math calculations in your head, whatever, who you think did it, and then you'll see the conclusion later today. So, hope that doesn't confuse anyone, and hope that doesn't, you know, make me look like some evil person. I'm sorry, this is what I like to do. This is the way I thought it out, is the best route I can take for how I want to at least post here. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed part 1. Again, thanks for your understanding in this ordeal, and I hope to see y'all in a few hours in part 2, baby, finishing out the trial.